Kindle kind of create a weapon and give him kind of a sense to create something. He wasn't able to do that earlier, and we really want to show you guys. But we can also answer some more questions while we're sitting here.
Definitely.
We want ice weapons on the stream. We want to see ice weapons. That's Andrew Cardona.
All right, well, Andrew, I will say that, I don't think we've ever formally said that there was or was not ice, so I'm going to stick to that story of not telling you whether that's true or not, but stay tuned and maybe you'll find out.
So am I doing, am I playing with whatever they ask me to play?
Yeah, I think we're going to pull up some requests for weapons and we're going to see what we can do.
You know, you can also make your
Yeah,
own.
just go ahead and freestyle, and we're going to go ahead and let people tweet in some requests, and then
Yeah.
if we see one that we think is like incredibly awesome, we'll go ahead and have you make
go ahead and do it.
In the time being, why don't you just show us how awesome you are at this game using weapon crafting to kick everyone's ass.
Yeah, and we'll go a little longer, guys, because then we got off to kind of a late start. So we're going to go ahead and put the weapon on right now, and Kindle is going to go ahead and let's let Kindle make what he wants, because I know that he has a couple of different weapons that he actually likes a lot, and I know one of them is the Tesla sniper rifle, which I know he loves. But
yes. The other is the Zeus.
It's rather difficult to use with a controller.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's okay. Well, you want to drive with the mouse right now? That's totally cool.
So right now we have a pulse weapon on. He's doing iron sight and scope. What you see over there in the far right is your projectile payload. So he's going to go and change that to bouncy. These are always fun.
Yep. Bouncy is definitely,
yeah,
at the very least, exciting to watch. But also, there are a lot of really good reasons to equip bouncy, particularly depending on where you are in the level.
And in that last map we just saw, Fissure, bouncy can work really well, especially in those narrow canyons. In
Exactly.
It just bounces all over the place.
Oh my, oh me, oh my. Here we go. So Kendall's got what looks like a pulse shotgun fire. So fire, which I don't think we saw any of today. Interestingly enough, it does damage over time.
Can't make a nice weapon?
But whoa.
Dude, I promised the fans.
Oh, well, you know what? If you provided a little bit more creative direction, maybe we'd be able to help them out.
Dude.
All right, so Kendall here is using fire. As you might imagine, fire actually does damage over time whenever applied to a character, but also it will spread between characters, so it does force the enemy team to spread out, rendering some of their clustering strategies ineffective. That makes it very effective for control point rush, particularly the game type we were looking at before we started playing the last one.
And then we have the famous blue ball weapon, which you can show you right here.
Yes.
So for all you poor teenagers out there, this weapon will be, you can relate, obviously.
Yes. I never have, that's never happened to me.
No, never?
No, I've
Okay.
always gone the distance.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know what blue balls means. But anyway, so here we go. Kendall has traded out that fire damage type for electric, or Tesla. So the properties of Tesla make it so that you don't have to fire this as accurately because arcs will stream to nearby targets whenever they pass by. Also, I had mentioned that we have other pieces of equipment out there. A personal shield is one of them. Tesla is actually the counter to the personal shield, so there are two good reasons right there why to use Tesla.
And also, I want to quickly point out that what you're seeing right there, you're seeing the old shooting gallery. We actually have a much better one, a new one that actually has bots that are running back and forth. So you can actually get a true sense of how your weapon's going to work when you go into an actual match. So this is, what is this?
Looks like he switched out the damage type yet again for slug. So I don't know. We were definitely using slug earlier in the match. Slug is the most effective at damage dealing. If you're going for kills, which is generally Kendall's story, this is what you would choose to equip in weapon crafting. All right, so let's draw some beams
I like
or
this.
something.
That
Kendall,
blue stuff
because
is made from fossil smurfs.
That's very creative. Yeah, let's draw some beams here.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Ty, why don't you tell the kids at home what you call this weapon?
I'm going to go ahead and elect not to.
All right.
I'm going to try to keep this somewhat PG-13 today, but this is one of my, not exactly this particular setup, but this is obviously the beam rifle. I call it the Ghostbuster rifle.
Right, true.
Yeah.
Don't cross the streams, kids.
Don't cross the streams, exactly.
All right, so some interesting factoids about beams, because I know you guys are all designer nerds at heart. So beams actually allow you to fire a little bit less accurately, because they allow you to sweep from targets. So unlike, let's say, a bullet weapon where you actually have to have the target lined up when the bullet comes out of the weapon, here you can sweep it. So Kendall, maybe you could show off real quick. You could start shooting off a target and waggle back and forth across him, and you'll see that he'll be dealing damage to him continuously. There are a couple of pairings that I like to do with beam. One of them, my personal favorite, is healing. I like to use healing beams up close because it's easier for me to handle healing my target while they're moving back and forth. All right, so pass beams. What's something else that we haven't shown yet, Kendall? Have we shown off some guided? Wow, that's not. You can also use beams to be a level artist. There we go. That's Kendall showing his affection for me. Ian. So, oh, maybe not affection after all. I can imagine what next letters are going to follow. A C, a K, and an S. What's implied there is Kendall's mom. Will come shortly after that S is finished, but he probably doesn't have enough time to write that. All right, let's see some other weapons. Actually, Kendall, let's do something crazy. Let's go ahead and bring it up, and let's go random. All right, so I'm kind of good at this, but let's just pick a random one that looks cool, and then let's see if we can predict what it's all about. All right, yeah, that looks crazy. Let's stop there. So, looks like we've got a multi-launcher chassis here that's scoped, so optical zoom on that so you can use it from far away. And it looks like it's got the corkscrew propulsion. So, all right, let's pull out here and let's shoot it. See what happens. Oh, that's nice, Kendall. That's very lovely.
I like that.
Let me write that down in my black book real quick. It'll show up on this review later.
He doesn't report to you.
He reports to you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Could you write that down in your black book?
No, I'm going to give him a raise.
All right, so what we have here, it looks like, so we have a corkscrew rocket. Now, corkscrew, while it definitely looks crazy, I've been saying this quite a bit, but this definitely helps for people that are not good at firing accurately because the corkscrew is a tight. Yeah, hey, the corkscrew is a tight enough spiral that it will catch people while they're on the run. You'll also see that whenever it detonates, it bursts in. It detonates into a series of like wider explosions in the area. That is the flak dispersal type. Now, flak is very useful for specific game types, particularly ones where you have to control space. Each individual bomblet explosion doesn't do very much damage, but it stays there for long enough where it forces people out of the territory. I use that all the time in CPR, Control Point Rush, whenever I'm trying to control a control point, especially from far away. All right, so Kendall's going to switch things up a little bit. He's going to change the shell type to sticky. That means that he'll be able to attach it to the environment. He will also change the detonation type to manual detonator. So what we've got here is what we'll consider effectively a proximity mine. So here we go. He's attached that projectile to the wall, and now with another click, he can detonate it. So what Kendall could do here is he could go ahead and preemptively arm the flag base, wait for someone to get in, trigger it, and then nuke them. Now, another interesting strategy he can do is go ahead and change out that detonator for the proximity. So Kendall can switch out this detonator to proximity here, so go ahead and shoot at the ground. And so now it will automatically detonate whenever an enemy gets close enough. So what he could do now is mine all of the flag bases, and no one will be able to see it. He won't have to watch all of them coming. He won't have to manually detonate it.
Yeah, and it's a really good strategy too if you're going to do things like when we have like capture the flag and some other things like that, which essentially you want to guard a certain area of the map.
Yep.
You know, you want to place these proximity mines all over the place.
Yep. Now those will hurt you, so you have to be careful.
Yeah,
I mean,
it brings back really good memories of GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People always say that when we start talking about mines.
We're also going to show you one more round before we go, guys. I feel like we owe it to show Fath off in a glorious goodbye.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to show a CPR here.
Excellent.
And also at Fath, which is the map you've already seen before, but it's definitely a fun game mode. You'll be able to play it at RTX this weekend.
So I will say, like, since this is goodbye and we've been ragging on Kendall all day, I think that we should just let him unleash the beast and make the best killing weapon for him.
Absolutely.
And so I don't know, Kendall, do you want to do Ty's rifle, or do you have something that you would rather use?
What's bleach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll split you.
We can't say that word on camera.
Yeah,
Despite the fact that we've been...
I'll Ghostbuster that.
All right, he's gonna Ghostbuster it up. He's going to cross the streams because Kendall,
go ahead and get the lobby ready.
Kendall's fearless. All right, so Ty discovered this weapon one day,
and then as soon as I did, it was nerfed.
Yeah, and Walter was like, "Wait a minute, that's a balance issue. I'm gonna fix it."
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I think
we
we're
can
about
still
to
talk on this one too. This is not a hard goodbye. We just want to show you one more round.
I hate hard goodbyes.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
very good.
I was going to play Boys to Men, but I just didn't bring the soundtrack with me today.
You know,
Sorry.
the one hard goodbye that I wouldn't be upset about is if I had to say goodbye to you because you had to find a new job.
Yeah. Well, I
That
figured
would-
as much.
I would
We really do promote camaraderie here at Edge of Reality. We support each other.
It's important. Cooperation in the workplace is really important.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why we kind of made a game like this, is because realistically, we all just want to kill each other.
Yeah, this is an outlet.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
The other being me punching you after this is over.
Yes.
All right, looks like, are we ready to roll here?
All right, guys, what you're going to see here is our game mode control point rush. There's 5 capture points on the map. Each one's activated independently and one at a time. And the whole point of the game is to capture the point with your friends here. And every point you capture, with 500 points?
500 points, and
Yeah.
we're going to 7,500. 15-minute clock.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Kendall's going to the middle. That's always a very good strategy at the beginning of the map and in between control points.
So the spooge rifle, as you can see,
Oh,
is
whoa.
very long distance.
What's it called?
Nothing.
The Ghostbuster gun. That's
Yes,
right. Oh, there we
exactly.
go. Kendall
Yeah.
using those grenades effectively to clear the control point. Kendall not going to get in, again, allowing his teammates to do it. He's going to play the perimeter to keep it clean for them. Looking down the alley here. All right, here we go. Kendall is edge. Bam. Good shooting by Kendall. Oh, control point contested. Looks like the red team is managing to get some people back in there to give them a hard time. As you can see, we've got people on the blue team using healing very effectively to stay up under pressure. Ooh, good melee there from Hauser.
So blue team did capture that first
Blue team
point.
did manage to capture that control point in spite of the difficulties there. All right, new control point spawned in right behind Kendall. As you can see, Kendall was going to the middle of the map to try and
We
get
got Baracus
normalized.
from that far.
Wow, incredible shooting from Kendall again.
Looks like somebody else is using the same gun Kendall's using, which is
I
interesting.
wouldn't be surprised.
That was Walter?
That's no, it could be Walter. All right, so as you can see here, Kendall facing up against someone that's using healing to heal themselves while fighting. That was not enough to take on Kendall. Kendall missing his head. Looks like he's going to pick up this health pack to go ahead and recover. You'll see some pretty cool graphics effects there as his head grows back. I think that's pretty fancy.
So I do like his
Kendall on a
strategy
pretty
in
cool
right here, because what he's using right now is he has his Ghostbuster rifle, as we call it,
Yes.
for long range attacks. But then he switches to the shotgun,
Yes.
the Tesla shotgun, which is a great weapon, especially when people have shields on. So
Exactly. In fact, that's something that I don't think we do quite enough of. Is we always talk about like this weapon or that weapon,
Yeah.
but the game truly is about what loadout do you have right now. You pair
Exactly.
these two weapons together with this piece of equipment to form personal strategy.
exactly. And what you'll also probably see on the other team, as well as Kindle's team, is that you'll see some guys that actually have healing weapons, which you obviously need in this particular game mode. Very, very important if you want to stay alive long enough to capture the point you're at. So it's great to have someone on your team that's actually doing some healing. In addition, they can do some damage.
Absolutely. In fact, my personal loadout choice is I'll have that healing beam weapon that I had mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
and I'll spawn it with some kind of assault rifle depending on what game type we're playing, and that'll be what I play in the point.
Yeah.
All right, Kendall caught by a cheap melee there. Looks like he spawned far away. There are a couple strategies you can do when you're far enough away that you won't be able to help your teammate. Looks like it got cleared out to the point where he can move a
Yeah,
little bit
what
closer.
I'm going to try to also do is we're going to try to answer some of these last questions that we got here from our Twitter followers.
All right.
Because, I don't want to feel like they're being ignored.
Okay.
Please ban me likes how the clothing regenerates.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty awesome.
Any special gear that will be fire resistant? Ian.
I've never thought of that.
Yeah?
That's a really good suggestion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do have the shields, which obviously can help take damage from every existing weapon, essentially, except for Tesla.
Yes.
It's kind of the counterbalance for that. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a really awesome suggestion.
Will there be DLCs?
Not in the traditional sense. We'll just be updating the game constantly. So rather than it being like, oh, here's a big DLC drop, we're just going to be probably every week you'll see something new in the game. Possibly even more frequently than that.
Yeah. We have another one. Loadout. Do you love your fans? Does anybody actually ever hate their fans? Unless you're like maybe AT&T or something?
Yeah. I think the Miami Heat hate their fans.
No.
No? Okay, they love their fans?
They like their fans.
All right, well, we love our fans.
We do love our fans.
I love my fans.
Absolutely.
That would be my
I don't
mom.
know if you have any fans.
My mom and my
like-
wife are probably my only fans.
Okay,
and I'm
that's
pretty
nice.
sure that one of them isn't actually my fan. They just have this sense of obligation. But anyway, you get upset talking about that.
You know, being honest is like the first step in coping with that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's good. How many loadouts will you be able to have? We kind of explained that earlier, but you'll be able to have 2 different guns you can take with you in a game. But as far as loadouts, it's almost like infinite at that point. You can kind of match and combine anything you like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like how many loadouts can you have in a game?
So within a match, you'll have 5 to choose from. You
Yeah.
will have to unlock some of those by playing
Yeah.
the game. But you can have a virtually unlimited arsenal of backup weapons that you can mix and match out whenever you're not in a match. So you can customize to your heart's content.
It looks like right now what we're seeing is the blue team dominating.
Yeah, I think that it's potentially going to be a shutout here as Kendall